life in general 110% better since moving here? Well, yes. Is German food also really not that good, and do they need to wake it up and stop using fax machines? Also, yes. But if you don't like it, then you can go back to your own country. No, it's our country now. So folks, as of September this year, I've been living in Berlin, Germany for a full year. Where's my trophy, first of all? Second of all, how has it been that long? Like, I know it's a cliche, but like, I don't know, something about getting older. It's just like, where's the time? There are a lot of things that I love about living here. There's a lot of things I really don't like about living here. I've fully like solidified my thoughts, and so I want to talk about them. First thing, bureaucracy. Yes, I know. It's like a huge meme about moving to Germany, about Germans, the way that they think, the way that they operate. You have to do a ton of paperwork. There's so many appointments. There's so many things you have to do in order to get settled here. And I want to preface this by saying that moving internationally is something you should expect to be hard. I don't expect to just show up and for them to give me a house and a visa. I don't expect that. But it's just that when I was taking my first steps, I felt like sometimes the process of getting settled here was almost like paradoxical and really like not very immigrant friendly, I guess. For example, I am on a freelancer visa. You cannot apply for a visa without a registered address, an Anmeldung, which, okay, fair. But to register an address, to get the Anmeldung, you need an address. You need to find an apartment, okay? But then when you're apartment hunting as a foreigner, a lot of landlords and companies want people that already have visas, which I understand because it's like people that are long-term and serious and it's like an insurance for them, but like, goddamn. So then what you're left with after that are these rent-hiked, ridiculously priced furnished apartments that are targeted specifically toward foreigners that just got here. Like the first apartment that we got here was a studio. It was a loft studio. 1,600. Are you kidding me? It's giving very unethical. It's giving run me my money back. I feel like Germany has really garnered a reputation, especially since the mid-2010s when it like let in a ton of refugees. It's garnered this reputation for being like super immigrant friendly. I've just felt like in my experience that there were a lot of kind of like paradoxical roadblocks that just made it so unnecessarily hard. It's a good thing that I speak German though, because if I didn't, holy shit, like it would be like 10 times more difficult. I can't even imagine. Believe it or not, even though Berlin is really English speaking and English is very commonly spoken here, you still need to speak German at your bureaucratic appointments, whether that's through a translator, whether you speak German, somebody needs to speak German. Now, before I actually moved here, something that really helped me prepare for my appointments in German was taking German classes on Lingoda. Yes, even for bureaucratic stuff. They have classes on like getting your Anmeldung and the vocab you're gonna need for that, like making a to-do list of your first steps here in Germany, going grocery shopping, just all the basic like survival stuff. Lingoda is an online language school where you can take live group classes 24/7, so you can practice speaking German or any of their other languages whenever it fits your schedule. Like when I take their classes, I don't have to like search for a tutor and schedule it. They just have classes running 24/7, which makes it so easy for me to just make language learning happen on a random day. Because I'm busy. I'm very busy. And the fact that they have classes to not just teach you the language, but also to help you get settled here if you want to move here, I find that really amazing because you don't really see that very often with like language learning apps or stuff like that. So if you want to learn German, even from zero, I can definitely recommend their classes. I've taken so many, especially if you're a beginner and private classes feels like too much pressure or you don't think that you're ready for that. The group classes are just so approachable and the teachers, they like really support you while still challenging you. With the Lingoda Flex plan, you can get a 7-day free trial and learn at your own pace with native level teachers. And hey, I already forgot, it's November. Why is time going so fast? It's Black Friday month. So from November 13th to December 9th, you can get, I think up to 50% off all the Lingoda Flex plans. That's a Lingoda Flex. Oh, that was so corny. That was so bad. You have to use my code though to get the 50% off. I will leave you a link in the description. Try something new. This actually works. Thank you to Lingoda for sponsoring this video. So let's talk about club culture in Berlin. How do I approach this topic without sounding like a pick-me? I don't know. So I do want to preface all this by saying I don't think I'm like not like other girls or something like that. I'm not trying to be like, ooh, I love going out. But I do not like that in Berlin, the default thing to do in most situations or on most weekends is clubbing. I love going out. I love going to bars. I like doing karaoke. I love playing pool and darts and things like that. There's many nightlife activities that aren't just clubbing. But I feel like that's the thing that everybody wants to do all the time. And it's just like, no, I have a headache after 5 minutes. Can we do something else type shit? But no, it's like for Halloween recently, I was asking friends like, oh, what are your plans for Halloween? What are your plans for Halloween? Everybody said we're going clubbing. And like, I don't judge them for that, but it's just like, damn, like I want to do something else. I want to do something else. Yeah. Winter sucks in Berlin. That is my next point. Berlin is a very gray city. Like there's a lot of gray buildings. There's a lot that's gray. And you don't realize it until it's cold. All the trees are dead. There's no color anywhere. And it's like 0 degrees. Like it's a really hard winter here. I'm going to teach you how to survive Berlin winter though. First thing, you need to stock up on thermals and wear thermals under everything. I'm wearing thermals right now and I'm inside. Also vitamin D. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my advice way too seriously, but I do take vitamin D in winter because you're just not getting enough vitamin D from the sun. Or get a sad lamp. A sad lamp's also a good option for vitamin D. But this next one is the German best kept secret for surviving winter: sauna. Because in winter there's not that many things to do, so you have to choose from things to do inside. People really enjoy going to the sauna. But Germans, as soon as it's cold, they're like, babali time. So that I will say, winter sucks, but once you learn to get through it, it's not as bad. So I think the main thing that I love about Berlin is just that there's always so much to do and you will never run out of things to do because there's always new things being created. Between the seasons, there's always different activities and things to do. So it just feels like it's a city where you're never ever going to get bored. It's so interesting. The way I would describe it also is there's just like a lot of joie de vivre. Like in the summer, walking around the city, like the patio, Aperol spritz culture, it's so nice to see people actually outside and like to just see your community. I feel like in the US, we don't really have the same kind of setup with these like community spaces or like streets lined with cafes. We're kind of like a lot more isolated and separated from each other. And I think in Berlin, there's just a lot more spaces where you can just be with other strangers and just like exist. Like parks, Freiluftkinos, the outdoor theaters. It's just like there's so much to do. And it's just so nice to be around strangers and to just see like little kids running around. It's just like, it feels very fulfilling and wholesome. Another thing I love is the seasonal whimsy. And what I mean by this is like, I feel like in the US, I never really noticed or felt the seasons as much as I do here. Like the only time in the US I feel like it's summer is on 4th of July. And then everything else is just like, okay, where are we? Like for example, in Germany, they have these things called Erlebnishöfe or like Erlebnisdörfer, which I guess you could translate as like adventure farms or adventure parks. And like, for example, we went to one this summer where it was just a blueberry experience, like adventure farm. And you could blueberry pick. They have so many different dishes and things to try with blueberries. You can take a picture with the blueberry bear. Like it was giving everything. I enjoyed it so much. Christmas markets, which I'm so excited for because it's almost December. It's literally just like an excuse to like eat everything, like Kartoffeltwister, Bratwurst, Glühwein, hot cocoa, fish sandwiches. What are the Quarkbällchen? There's so much good food to eat at the Christmas markets, and I think it's one of those things that it just makes you really feel the season. Also, Germans eat in general a lot more seasonally. Like for example, it was just over the summer like chanterelle mushroom season, and the only reason I even know what a chanterelle mushroom is because literally every like restaurant you pass by and in the grocery stores is just like Pfifferlinge. I just love that when an ingredient is in season, you see it everywhere. Like there's specials at the restaurants, they're on discount at the store because there's so much of them. It's just so nice. And it makes like eating feel a bit more special. My next point, public transport here in Germany and in Berlin is so amazing because you do not need a car to live here. And that is the baseline standard that I'm used to as an American. I'm going to try to keep this brief, but honestly, I could talk about this one all day. In the US, like the public transportation problem and the car dependency problem was already embarrassing enough on its own. But now comparing it to Germany, it just looks like even worse to me. And it's really bad in the South where I'm from. Like growing up, what I was used to is like pretty much just one form of public transport, the bus, and it would come twice an hour, and that was good. That was like, oh, they used to be just once an hour and then it came to twice an hour. Like that was knockout service. Now in Germany, what we have, there's tons of forms of transport. There's the tram, there's the S-Bahn, there's the U-Bahn, there's the buses, there's ferries, and the connectivity is so good in the city. And they come like every 5 to 10 minutes. Like it's crazy. And so when I see people complain about Deutsche Bahn, I'm just like, you don't know what a bad day looks like. I'll show you a bad day. It's also comparatively cheaper than a lot of US cities. Like in Chicago, the last city that I lived before moving here, a monthly Venture card, like a monthly pass, was $75 a month. And that was just to get around the city. Like you can use it for the bus and you can use it for the train. That's it. But in Germany, for the entire country, they have what's called the Deutschland ticket. I think it's going to to go up to 63 euros a month in January. And you can get around the entire country with that. Huh? It blows my mind, actually. And that's another thing. All the cities are so well connected because they have like one national like transport company, the Deutsche Bahn. So what you get between every city is like the same infrastructure, the same things to expect. You don't feel like completely out of your element just because you're in a different city. Even in like small towns. And it's just so crazy to me because you'll be in a completely new city and you still know how to get around. Whereas like, you know, me in the US, when I go to a new city, I have absolutely no idea how anything works because it's like the transport is always really isolated to just that city. So in the US, even if you get around pretty well with the city's public transport, if you want to go in between states, you know, you have to drive, you can take a Greyhound, you can fly, or you can take the Amtrak. All of these options are going to be at least a couple $100s for like a single round trip. Versus in Germany, 63 euros a month to get all around the country. It's like, it's a no-brainer. Also, just in general in Germany, I feel like the cities were way better designed for pedestrians. Compared to the US, being a pedestrian here is like no longer a miserable experience where you just feel like an afterthought. In the US, it's really common for us to have like these giant stroads and like these super highways that have like 26 lanes that like cut right through downtown. So it feels super unsafe to walk around there. Also sidewalks, oh my god, it's super common in the US for like sidewalks to just end or to like really be an afterthought. A lot of roads don't even have sidewalks. I'm very, very pleased that in Germany there are tons of sidewalks and they're super wide, like there's pedestrian tunnels. They really, like they always take into account that people are walking, biking, they have strollers, things like that. This is a topic I'm actually really interested in. If you want to learn more about it, I would watch the channel Not Just Bikes and also the documentary Taken for a Ride. There's a reason that the US is so poorly designed and that is what the documentary is about. I won't spoil it for you. But also in the US, the car dependency, it's not just infrastructure now. Like it's really so ingrained in the culture. In the US, people act like they would literally die if they had to like take a bus to go get their groceries instead of like a massive Ford F-350. Now this is more of a Berlin thing. I can't speak for all of Germany, but in Berlin, my cost of living is a lot lower. Let me get my sources out. So in Chicago, I paid on average $1,500 a month for a studio apartment. In Berlin, in my apartment that I'm in right now, it's 930 euros a month. It's bigger than my old apartment was. Also with groceries, I am constantly like shocked, amazed, and surprised at how much you can get in Berlin for so little. Like in the US, when I would do my weekly grocery shopping, I would expect it to come out from anywhere between $60 to like $100. And here in Berlin, for two people, we often don't pass like 50 euros. So clock that tea. Let's talk about the people. I feel like the people are what makes Berlin so amazing. It's so diverse. I was just talking about this in my newsletter yesterday. It's free if you want to subscribe to that. There are just so many cool people here from different walks of life. Like it feels like everybody I meet here is from somewhere else, just like me. And I just love that. I love hearing people's like origin stories and what brought them to Berlin. It seems like this mecca for all these different people from all different walks of life. Of course, also different nationalities. Like there's so much good food here. I had never had Sudanese food before coming here, and now halloumi sandwich, like that's bae. Also, the trust culture here is crazy. I feel like people trust strangers and trust each other so much in ways that we never would in the US. When I'm in cafes, people will often just like leave their stuff with me for like 10 plus minutes. They'll be like, oh, will you watch my stuff? And I love that they feel like they can trust me. Respectfully, I will not be doing that back anytime soon, but I just think that's such a nice sentiment. Last thing about trust culture, something that I really like here in Germany is that between neighbors will receive your packages for you if you're not home when you get a package. Like it happens so often that like my neighbor down the hall isn't home, and so when the delivery guy comes, he's like, oh, can you take his stuff? And I'm like, sure. Because in the US, the alternative is if you're not home, they'll just leave it on your doorstep, which leads to a lot of package theft. Especially, ironically, package theft between neighbors. Like neighbors steal each other's stuff, which is why everybody has those cameras on their doorbells now. So I like that neighbors are trustworthy with each other and will receive each other's packages. Now the downside of this is that my entryway is fucking clogged with boxes all the damn time, but you know what? The price of community is inconvenience. So eat that. Sometimes it's really annoying though. Like there's this lady in the building that got her stuff dropped off at my house 2 months ago. 2 months ago? Girl, come get your shit. This is not UPS. I'm gonna start charging y'all a daily rate. I'm not kidding. So this has been everything that I love and hate about Germany, because is my life in general 110% better since moving here? Well, yes. Is German food also really not that good, and do they need to wake it up and stop using fax machines? Also, yes. Whenever people that have moved here come online and start complaining about Germany for anything, which is well within our rights, because you can live somewhere and still not like things about it. Hello. The Germans, they come out of nowhere like, but if you don't like it, then you can go back to your own country. No, you missed the point. It's our country now. Love you so much. See you next week. Bye.